I mean, I'm pretty far up here, so it's not real close. But
You still got 2 minutes because it's gonna show up at 5:40. So you still got 2 minutes,
oh, because
or like a minute and a half.
my box cast is showing all three green lights, which usually means it's live. But
Well, yeah, it's gonna show that it's connected on your end, but we're not scheduled to
oh,
start the video until 5:40.
okay.
So it's gonna show that it's on your end, but it doesn't show anything on our end yet.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that was the case. I thought when it was all three greens, you were good. But okay. Yeah, I need to make sure on the video because I don't know how much of the banner takes up on that. I'm trying to move it up in the crowd a little bit so that the banner hopefully goes on the bottom of that crowd. There's a railing. I'm hoping it covers it up and not go over into the floor. But
All right, I can let you know what it looks like.
and if you could let me know on the video on the audio too, if you're still around there, just to see if it's not what we call splatting.
Yeah,
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Is this the only game tonight, right? We don't have anything else, do we?
Yeah, this is the only game.
Okay. They did tell you that Lovington got canceled tomorrow, didn't they?
Yeah, they told Tiff.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm gonna run down.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna run downstairs and check the scorebook. I'll be back up here in a minute.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, let me get all my junk off there. Okay, I'm ready to go here. Anybody can hear me?
Yeah, give us just a second, Ty.
Okay.
All right, you got 56 seconds.
Is that till the start of the me live or till the
You live. Start of you live.
Okay, thank you.
And you're loud and clear too on the stream.
Okay, thank you. Is the picture okay in terms of the banner?
Yeah, we can see the whole court.
Great, thank you.
20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, everyone, to Amarillo, Texas. Time for Hobbs Eagle Hoops live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Ty Friend here with you. The Hobbs Eagles on the road. Been a few days since the big Artesia tournament. Eagles winning that one, of course, over Los Lunas. Tonight they take on Amarillo Tascosa. And this will be their third Texas team. Of course, they lost to Permian by a couple, blew out El Paso, and then come up here tonight against Amarillo Tascosa, a team that comes in with a 3-7 record. We'll talk about them here in just a minute. But what about the championship? Tournament of Champions there in Artesia. The Eagles getting the big win, 58-31 over Los Lunas, running their record up to 5-1 on the season. The Eagles getting a lot of point production for several players in this game. And, of course, Aaron Mora getting the double-double in the contest with 18 points and 17 rebounds. So a big win with his name right behind it there. Definitely some good scoring for him. Michael Mackey finishing with 16 points in that ball game. Those two guys in double digits. After that, it was Jalen Gore with 8. So not everybody getting the double digits. Usually they get about 3 or 4 guys in those type of stats. But this is a little bit of a hard-fought ball game from start to finish. Eagles out-rebounded Los Lunas 43-34, so by 9 there. Of course, led by Mora's 17. He was the top board man for the Eagles. Turnovers, 13 for Hobbs, 15 for Los Lunas, so pretty close in that category as well. So, again, a pretty decent game. Both teams challenging each other just a bit. Hobbs not shooting very well from the free throw line, though. They were 5 of 12 for 42%. That did not come back to bite them, but still, those numbers do have to improve on the season for Hobbs to be in the very close ball games. In fact, Hobbs shooting in the free throws this season at 58% as a team. So getting that victory definitely important for the Eagles. 3-point shots, 16% from three range against that Los Lunas team. So those numbers not probably where they would like them to be as well. But they did hold Los Lunas 23% from the field. That's the big plus for the Hobbs Eagles this season. Tenacious defense. Lots of guys taking advantage of pressure all over the court and trap pressure. Not the typical man-to-man full court pressure the Eagles' traditional teams have had, but Coach Reeves has kind of went more into a trap, sometimes a 1-2-2, just a floating trap around the full court situation, and it has pulled up some dividends for him. In fact, Eagles are averaging 16.8 steals a game and only giving up 14.8 turnovers, so they're averaging 2 more steals than turnovers. Definitely shows you how good this Hobbs Eagle defense is this season. So, again, getting that big trophy from Artesia, definitely something they can put up on the mantle there and to show off just a bit. Eagles come in with that 5-1 record. Now, tonight, they got some guys that need to step up. There's some big, tall kids for Amarillo Tascosa. Eagles, though, have some scores that are taking care of business offensively. Jalen Gore, he leads with 17.2 points a game. He is first in steals as well on the defensive side, 3.7 a contest, and leads with 15 three-pointers, shooting 35% from three-point range. That's pretty good numbers. Even teams would like to have 35% on the average. 15 points a game for Mr. Mora, of course. He had those 4 dunks in the semifinals of the Artesia tournament. He also leads the team in rebounds at 10 a game, so he's averaging a double-double on the season. And let's not forget about Mr. Mackey, too. 13 points a game. That's third on the team, and he's also third with steals at 2.2. So those are the numbers for the top scores for Hobbs. In terms of the shooting, we mentioned the free throws at 58%. Those need to come up, of course. Shooting from the field at 43% and 26% as a team from three-point range. National anthem starting here in Amarillo. We'll take a 60-second break and come back live.
Clear. How long?
$60.
Okay. We got 20. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
National anthem just wrapping up here in Amarillo, here at Tascosa High School. The Hobbs Eagles 5-1, and the Rebels from the home team at 3-7. Now, they're coached by a former alum of this squad, of course, Coach Jackson. He was back in this team several years ago in 2001. He is in his 11th year as the head coach here at Tascosa. Now, he had a real good season back in 2016. He broke a school record with his squad that he had that year. They started off the season at 31-0. They were the district champs and also went as far as the regional quarterfinals, their first time since 1994. Last year, things weren't going so well for the Rebels. They are 7-19 to finish up the season, so under 500. This season, I mentioned 3-7 record. Now, in terms of wins, they beat Tulia by 22, Tulia, Texas, 68-46. That was a game that out-rebounded them by 12. That definitely helped their cause. It had 9 steals compared to 1 for the opponent, Tulia. They also beat El Paso Bowie, 54-52, a close one there. Once again, more steals than their opponent, 11-8. That'll be very important in this game against the Hobbs Eagles to play some tough defense and not let Hobbs get into their offense. They also won a big game against a team in the Knights of Columbus tournament, Dallas Lincoln High School, 70-54. That team was 0-6 on the season at that point. But that's where they got their 3 wins. Their losses, some big losses. Dallas Jesuit by 22. 44-point loss to Frisco Memorial, and Fort Worth Eaton High School beat them by 27. Single-digit losses to other teams, Oklahoma City Storm, Lubbock Estacado, and Lubbock Coronado. So that pretty much tells you what we're facing here. A couple of big kids on the squad on this team as well. The Eagles will be starting Michael Mackey, Jesus Ramos, Jalen Gore, Darius Royal, and Aaron Mora. And for Tascosa, Ashraf Barsham, Jeray Carr, Isaiah Mendoza, Jalen Sledge, and Will Dickerson. We're ready for some hoops here. Red and black for this home team. Actually wearing the white uniforms, red and black trim, and the Hobbs Eagles on their road unis at the black with the white on top of it. Of course, Eagles will be at home on Tuesday, getting ready for the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. They will play Gadsden, a rematch of a game that they played a couple of weeks prior to on the road in Anthony, New Mexico. Get ready for the tip-off here. Live on Friday night, the only game in Lee County on the broadcast schedule, and Amarillo gets the first tip into the backcourt. They will have the basketball as they go right to left on the radio dial. Live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Ball comes into the front court to Barsham on the left wing, swings it up top to Jeray Carr. Lost the ball. It's ricocheted off his hand, and it's taken away for the Eagles, and taken to the rack is Mackey. I believe getting a hand on it first, though. Jalen Gore got a kind of punch at the basketball. That's why he leads the team in steals. Eagles up early 2-0 after a first turnover of the ball game. That's the way you want to start things off. Pass comes into the front court to the right corner. A few dribbles and hold there for Barsham. He'll send it back deep top of the circle to Carr. Over to the left wing. Crossover move for Dickerson. Bad pass over the Hobbs Eagle bench. From the left sideline over to the right into Coach Reeves. And turnover number 2. Not how you want to start against a Hobbs Eagle basketball team, coughing up the basketball a few times in turnovers. Coming up with the dribble now, Jalen Gore coming across the timeline, guarded by Dickerson. He'll slow it up. Stop and go, top of the arc. He's going to hold on to it for a second. Keeps dribbling. Bounce pass coming up to get his Mora top of the circle. Trying to keep that pivot foot on the ground, but he extends and keeps sliding it forward, and they get the travel on him. First turnover for the Eagles. Still a 2-0 game after a transition pass coming in from Jalen Gore to Mackey after a steal here in the first quarter. Stop and go now for Jere Carr as he's going to go against Mackey across the timeline. Cross to his left side, flicks it over to Barsham. Driving the right side of the lane, goes up a double clutch, rejected from behind. They're going to call the foul on Aaron Mora. Looked like he had his hand right in the middle of the basketball, and the official that calls it's going to get an earful from Coach Reeves on that right sideline. So they will call the foul. Coach Reeves is now saying his hand was straight up in the air that time. I don't know if it was straight up, but it looked like it was right on top of the basketball. Might have slid down on the arm possibly for the foul. That's going to be the first against the Eagles. First shot is up and good. I guess they're going to call Morgan on that one. It looked like Mora was the one that blocked it. The scoreboard reading 34, but not sure where they're getting that from. Morgan, I don't think, was even in the area that time. So first on the Eagles. First shot was good. Second shot ricocheting around and good as well. So Barsham gets both of them. We're tied at 2. Long ball to the other end. Double clutch underneath the hoop, and getting smashed to the ground is Michael Mackey. Good head fake underneath the hoop that time. He had no chance when he go up with it. He was throwing it right into the rim underneath, but he gets that defender to crash right over the top of him. So Mackey will step up to the charity stripe. Mackey on the season shooting 65% from the line. We mentioned as a team they're 58%, the Eagles are. They get the foul call there on Isaiah Mendoza, his first team foul. First shot is up for Mackey and a swish. Mackey gets in the books with his first free throw. Now he has 3 total in the ball game. We mentioned he came into the season averaging 13 a contest, 3rd on the squad in terms of scoring. Second shot is up, and some good reverse roll on that spin, and it goes through. He's got 4 points, all 4 of the Hobbs Eagles scoring. They lead by 4-2. In the backcourt, dribbling around it with it, Isaiah Mendoza slings it back deep to Carr. Double team against him, Mackey and Morgan. Bounce pass across the timeline to pick it up is Mendoza, and coming back to get it is Carr near the time stripe as he comes across. Carr will take a dribble, crossover down the middle of the lane. Reverse layup with the 2 hands, no good. Mora pulls it off the iron, looking for somebody to throw to, and gets it down court to Mackey in the left wing front side. Brings it up top of the circle. Sliding with him on defense is Barsham. Slings it over to the left side to Morgan, down to Royal. On the left baseline, actually Gore, cross-court right to Mackey, goes to the rack, double clutch. He goes over the top of his defender. Both refs get the call. We're waiting to see what the call is. It's a block underneath, so that's going to be a 2-shot situation as the ball sailed over the rim. And boy, Mackey doing a great job at using the paint to his advantage, taking some penetration, head fakes, and he's getting a lot of action points and free throw opportunities. Get the foul on Will Dickerson underneath, his second team foul on the Rebels. Here's the shot for Mackey, good. Mackey perfect, 3 for 3 from the charity stripe, and that will bring up your individual and team average for free throws. Hobbs up 5-0, or 5-2, excuse me, and all 5 of those points so far for Mackey. Take one more free throw. Taking a break now will be Carr for the Rebels. Shot good for Mackey. 6 points for him. Yeoman's work so far. Inbound far sideline to Isaiah Mendoza. Eagles up 6-2. He's getting some serious pressure from Morgan. Slings it back deep to Wilson, still in the backcourt. He was the sub that checked in. He tries to get it back to the free throw line in the backcourt and sails it out of bounds to that far right sideline for the 3rd turnover for the Rebels. So Hobbs having their front court, deep left corner now, right at the end of the Rebels bench. It's going to be an inbound coming from Ramos. Gets it down to the left corner. Dribbling out of traffic is Mackey. Up top of the circle. Set up the offense for the Eagles. Sliding right, now to the left, goes through his legs. Kicks it over to the left side to Ramos. He'll hold it for a second. Stop and go to the free throw line. Comes down the lane. Tries to unload the pass to the right baseline. Has to save it to himself.
Picks it up, throws it off left wing to Gore for three off the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down at the free throw line for Mora, his second rebound. Dribbles right baseline, fadeaway Jay from 10 feet, and scores over the top of Jalen Sledge. Mora kind of thrust his body at the basket that time. He's about 10 feet away, though. And Hobbs up now 8-2. Their biggest lead is 6 here in the first quarter. Ball's loose in the front court. A pass to the near sideline, bobbled out of bounds by Isaiah Mendoza. Boy, the Rebels are having some serious pressure with the trap of the Hobbs Eagle defense. Already 4 turnovers, just 1 for Hobbs. Checking in now for the Eagles, some subs. Tyler Box on the court, and also Darius Royal. And Van Landingham checks in as well. Inbound to the backcourt to Gore. Stop and go as he takes on Dickerson through to the free throw line. Continues with a spin and backs out to the top of the arc. Trying to make that defender come back with him, which he does. Top of the circle, dribbling through his legs. Gore to the right elbow, spins, fakes a shot, then leans and shoots anyway. Got the body on him, and then the foul call. Count the bucket on the jumper from the free throw line. Way to drag that defender into him and get the three-point play opportunity. So Dickerson already getting his second personal. This is because he didn't have his feet set right. And that's going to be the first bucket for Jalen Gore. And kind of an uncharacteristic free throw percentage for him coming into this game. Gore just 59%, but he nails that one there. So Gore now with 3 points. Score now is 11-2. The biggest lead is 9. And the steal on the dribble up court, Van Landingham rips it away from Tascosa. That's their 5th turnover. Into the front court, pass off to the right wing to Royal. Slings it up top to Gore. Over to Box, wide open on the right wing. Fires up a three off the front of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound, Ashraf Barsham pulls it down, and he'll send it ahead to the right wing front court. Mendoza drives baseline right, double clutch off the bottom of the glass. Van Landingham tries to pull it down on the right base, but he steps on the line. That will be going back to Amarillo Tascosa underneath their hoop right baseline. 4:27 left here in the first quarter. We were having some trouble with our scoreboard on YouTube, so we will try to get that up for you here momentarily. Please bear with us on that. I'll try to keep up with the verbal on that one. Inbound to the left wing, Dayan Wilson, cross court right. 3 on the way for Mendoza off the back of the iron. Box tries to get a hand on it. Stolen out of his hands by Barsham. He goes up, is rejected by Moore underneath. Picked up by Box. He's in transition. Tries to throw it back door, but right in the hands of Barsham in the middle of the paint. He throws it ahead to a breaking Sledge at the other end, going down the middle of the key, and he fumbles it out of bounds. So a couple of turnovers going both ways. 6 total now for Tascosa and 2 for the Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs will have it back now. Mackey returns. Jalen Gore going to take a seat. Moore's going to get a breather too. And back on Katre Morgan. So both coaches starting to get in some subs on the court. 4:07 remaining. First quarter. Hobbs up 11-2. Their biggest lead at 9. Morgan will bring it across the timeline, or make that Mackey. Over to Royal on the left wing. Cross court right to Box. Up top to Van Landingham. Back over to Mackey, but throws it behind him. Picked off at the top of the arc. And going the other way with it. Leans and shoots on the layup right side is Carr. No good. No touch for Amarillo so far. And underneath the hoop is Royal for his first pull down for a rebound. Mackey into the front court. Fumbles the basketball. That's a turnover for the Eagles, their 4th. And it'll be passed up court. Trying to get a layup on the right side is Carr. Rejected, but come back up with a rebound and put over the top of the rim by Mendoza. 11-4. Hobbs by 7. Now in the front court comes the Eagles' Michael Mackey. Top of the circle. Gives it off to Morgan on the left wing. Morgan to hold it for a second. Box behind him on the left side. Gets the ball. Backs it out with a crossover. Sends it to Mackey wide open on the right wing. A high rainbow 3 off the back of the iron. Straight up in the air. Pulled down by Royal at the free throw line. Leads in towards the basket. A fadeaway out the back of the iron. And ripped down to the left baseline by Barsham, his 3rd board. Gives it back to the paint to J.K. Carr. Sends it ahead to a breaking Jalen Sledge to the left baseline. He'll sling it back to Barsham on the left wing. Crossover move. Royal gets a piece of it. It's tipped out up top to Carr, who recovers for Amarillo. Sends it to the right wing to Mendoza. Up top, wide open Sledge for 3 out the back of the rim hard. Royal gets a piece of it, but then pulled down by Sledge at the free throw line. Bounce pass to the right elbow, driving the lane. High shot for Carr off the back of the rim. Royal rips it down on the right block. Royal's getting aggressive underneath. He's got 3 rebounds. Throws it across the timeline to Michael Mackey. Mackey's going to slow it up at the time stripe. Sends it up top to Van Landingham for 3. Hits the bottom of the backboard, no good. Long rebound on the free throw line by Mendoza. He'll jump it across, go to the rack on the right side. Misses the layup. Boy, they've missed a lot of them, but they're going to call Van Landingham with the push foul from behind. So that'll be his first and the second team foul against the Eagles. 3-2 foul count. Hobbs with just 1 less than the Rebels. And that will send to the line Isaiah Mendoza. Score 11-4. Eagles maintaining that 7-point lead, pinning these free throws. First one's a brick off the back of the rim for Mendoza. First miss for the Rebels. They're 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. Eagles are 5 for 5, 4 for 4 for Mackey and 1 for Jalen Gore. Whoop, they just lost the scoreboard here. Same problem we're having on YouTube right now with ours. They're going to have to stop action, take a timeout. I believe they're going to take an official timeout here to take care of the scores table. So we'll take a break as well, 11-4. Please don't make me get out my abacus. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Make it 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Are you there? Anybody there? Back live here at Amarillo, Tascosa. A three-point shot nailed down by Jesus Ramos. The first tray of the ball game for either team. It's 14-5. Hobbs up by 9. And we got a timeout on the court. Coach Jackson wants to talk to his Rebels. They trail by 9 to your Eagles, 14-5. We're coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear.
Okay, what happened on the last break? I couldn't hear anybody.
Ten. Go.
14-5 your score after a Amarillo Tascosa timeout. Eagles by 9. Rebels basketball. They try to underhand pass down the lane, taken away by Jalen Gore. That's turnover number 7 for the Rebels. Down the lane to Ramos with a righty layup. Misses, but tipped back over the front of the rim by Mora. That's his 4th point and 3rd rebound. Eagles have their biggest lead now at 11, 16-5. 1:21 left first quarter. Spinning into the front court with the dribble is Carr. He's guarded by Ramos, who hit a 3 just moments ago. Crossover move to his right hand, top of the circle. Throws up an NBA 3, in and out, no good. Ripped down by Mackey on the left block, his first rebound. Sends it to the timeline, right to Gore. Back door to Mora. He tries to go up big with 2 hands. It's slapped out from behind and goes to the left baseline. It will be Hobbs Eagle basketball. Still leading by 11, 1:05 left first quarter. 16-5 your score as Ramos will inbound. Bounces it back door to Mora. Goes up big with a sidewinder. No good. Pushed over the front of the rim with 2 hands by Katre Morgan. His first bucket and rebound for the Eagles. That's 5 scores now for Hobbs, up 18-5. Their biggest lead is 13. Still near half court by Gore. Shot from the free throw line with the breaks coming on. He puts it through the net, uncontested. Gore now with 5 points and now 8 Rebels turnovers. 20-5. Hobbs by 15, their biggest lead. Pass comes across the timeline, stolen by Aaron Mora for the 9th turnover for Amarillo. Into the front court, a pass to Gore, top of the circle. He'll spin out of the traffic and back it out into the timeline with 30 seconds left first quarter. Hobbs up 20-5. Stop and go dribble on the right wing. Crossover, spins, top of the circle, gets a screen for Mora, continues down the lane. Finds Ramos going left baseline. Double clutch is fouled, being pushed backward, counted. He's flat on his back, but they get the bucket and the foul call. So Ramos with 5 points now here in the first quarter. And he'll get a chance for the 3-point play. See where they're going to get this foul on. A couple of bodies in the area that time. I think they might have charged Jameer Johnson with that. Yep, that's his first. 14th foul against the Rebels. And a chance for that 3-point play. Jesus Ramos steps on the line for the first time tonight. 83% on the season. That's the best on the team heading into this one. Shots up and good, a swish for Ramos. Eagles, perfect on the line so far, 6 for 6. 23-5, their biggest lead is 18. Ball to half court, passed to Dayan Wilson, cross court left, going down the lane left side, double clutch through two defenders, Moore and Mackey. The 2M standing big and kind of getting his head down low is Josiah Hearn, and he gets walloped. They call the foul. So call that one against the Eagles. Jesus Ramos, his first, third team foul. And on the line will be Hearn. He's getting his first opportunity from the free throw line and misses the first. Rebels have shot 5 times, converted 3 of them for 60%. Still 23-5, Eagles by 18 here in the first quarter with 7.8 seconds. Second shot for Hearn is a swish, 1-2 on the line. 23-6. Quickly in the front court, here comes Jalen Gore. Gives it over to Morgan in the right corner. Coming behind him is Gore from the right side. NBA 3 air ball. Mora tries to save it, but the buzzer goes off, fumbles off the end of his fingertips. Good effort, but that will end the first quarter clock. At the end of one, your Eagles up big, 23-6 over Amarillo Tascosa. We'll be back in 60 seconds on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
Clear. 60 correct?
Yes.
$30. $17. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We're back live here in Amarillo. Ty Friend with you. The Hobbs Eagles leading big over Amarillo Tascosa, 23-6. Eagles up by 17 right now. It was 18, the highest lead in the first quarter. Eagles out rebounding Tascosa 9-6. Hobbs with 4 turnovers and 9 for the Rebels. Hobbs coming in with the 5-1 record, and Amarillo Tascosa at 3-7. Eagles will be back at home on Tuesday night, hooking up with Anthony Gaston there at Task Arena. As a quick inbound, Mora's wide open underneath the hoop, goes up with a one-hand jam over the right side of the rim. Slams it home, nobody there to play any defense. And Mora now with 6 points. He had 4 of those dunks in that semifinal game in the Artesia tournament against Rio Rancho last week. A couple of passes across the timeline. Josiah Hearn has it on the right wing, gives it off to Dayan Wilson. He'll back it out to the timeline. Stop and go, crossover. Gets through the free throw line and then dumps it in the left corner. 3 on the way for Jackson. Off the side of the rim, no good. Tipped up with 2 hands by Barsham. He can't get it to drop. Mora pulls it down, tries to dribble up across the free throw line, and is pushed from behind. That's the 4th rebound for Mora. Remember, he's averaging 10 boards a game to lead this team and 15 points as well. Called the reach foul on that one for Ashraf Barsham. That's his first, and the 15th foul. 5-3 foul count. Favor the Eagles at this point. And they lead 25-6. Their biggest lead is 19. Coming across the timeline is Mackey, not wasting any time down the lane. Backdoor to Mora. They're going to say he ran over his defender, though. A charge called on that one. Big kid standing up in the lane waiting for that slam ball there. That was a Devane Johnson picking up the charge for Amarillo. So that'll be a turnover number 5 for the Eagles. And Mackey's first foul, 14th foul. Those of you watching on YouTube, we're still having some issues with the scoreboard. Give us a second on that to work that out. But it's a 19-point lead for the Eagles, 25-6, 7:12 left here in the second. Into the front court to the right elbow off the Jimmy Wilson fadeaway jumper off the back of the rim. Chasing it down is Ramos. He was getting rid on with the saddle that time, ridden hard. And he fumbled the ball on the baseline, but good effort for him. We got some subs going to check in here for Tascosa. That is number 23, Isaiah Mendoza. He has 3 points so far. Eagles will play some D, and a good swat at the ball on the near sideline by Ramos, going high up over the top of Khalil Jackson and knock it out. will be Rebels basketball on the near side. They trail by 19. Eagles up 25-6. Those of you who are getting mad about no scoreboard on the YouTube, it's there now. Keeping me on my toes here technology-wise. 7:03 left, second quarter. Inbound to the left corner for Dickerson in the front court. Almost a 5-second count. Hobbs Eagle bench trying to help out the ref on that one. Inbound to the timeline to Mendoza. Kick it left to Johnson outside the arc. Up top of the circle, Cradle going down the lane with it. Johnson throws up a shot on the run, no good. Morgan pulls it down for the Eagles. That's his second board. Up ahead to Mackey coming down the right side of the lane. He tries to whip around his defender with the pass, wraparound pass there to backdoor to Jalen Gore, but it sails out of bounds on the far sideline. Eagles pick up their 6th turnover of the game. 25-6 here in the second quarter. 6:46 remaining. Hobbs still trapping. A 2-1-2 going on. Back in the backcourt right now is Gore and Morgan. A steal by Gore at the timeline. He'll slow it up on the right wing front court. Touch pass up top to Ramos. Fakes a pass. Comes down the lane. Fumbles as he gets a triple team. Able to get on the floor. Kick it out right to Gore for a fadeaway 3 right wing. Nobody guarding him. And nothing but net for Jalen. He's got 8 points. The second tray of the game for the Eagles. Ramos had another one. Eagles up 28-6 so far. 22-point lead in the game. Down at the other end, they go up strong with it, and getting rejected was Khalil Jackson. They're going to say both players, one for each team, touched it, but they're going to give it on the jump ball. Possession arrow going to go back to Amarillo. Biggest lead of the game for Hobbs is 22 now. 28-6 your score here in the second quarter. Another sub checks on for Amarillo, and that's Dwayne Johnson. Now he's 6'2". He's got some size out there for the Rebels. On the right baseline is Dickerson, who stands at 6'1". Trying to swat his pass coming in will be Jalen Gore. They do get it in, coming around the circle. A few passes up top to Johnson. Kicks it right wing to Dickerson. A high three-pointer off the back of the iron. Chased down in the right corner by Van Landingham. That's his first. And it looks like we're getting some body foul there as the defensive player for the Rebels, Khalil Jackson, showing the referee, I had my hand straight up. What are you doing, ref? But they're going to still get him that foul. That's his first. And the 16th foul against Tascosa. Coach Jackson's going to pull him out, too. Talk about some defense a little bit. Box will come in the game. He'll inbound from the right base. Gets it into Gore on the far sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. In front of the scorer's table now as he brings it across. We're configured just exactly like Task Arena. Imagine me in the press box looking down. Dish off left wing to Van Landingham. Up top, Royal, who just checked in. He spots up a 3 off the back of the rim, unfortunately. And coming down with the rebound left block is Dickerson, his first. Double team on the near side. Gore and Van Landingham has to bounce it back near the baseline of the backcourt to Barsham. The big kid goes stop and go. One hands it down court to the right baseline. The guy that gets it takes about 40 steps, doesn't even dribble once, and he gets a travel, puts his hands up in the air and says, what's the matter? Dwayne Johnson with the turnover on that one. Forgot to put the ball to the hardwood that time. 10th Rebel turnover. 28-6. Eagles by 22 here in the second quarter with 5:28 left in the half. Coming across the timeline, Gore, stop and go. Flips it over to Box in the left corner, to the left elbow. Fakes a couple of shots, fade away anyway from 15 off the sprint of the rim. Pulled down in the left baseline by Barsham. That's his 5th board. Outlet to the near sideline as Box steps in the passing lane to punch it out. And he'll go out of bounds in the backcourt. Still going to be Amarillo basketball near sideline. Inbounding is Johnson. Back deep to Dickerson. Back to Johnson in the front court, left side. Guarded by Van Landingham. Dribbles left to right, top of the circle. Pass off to the right wing to Barsham. Threads the needle down the lane to Johnson. Reverse layup with 2 hands and scores off the right glass. Johnson's first bucket of the game. They have 4 scores so far for Amarillo Tascosa. The Hobbs Eagles, on the other hand, have 5. Into the front court comes Gore, up by 20. To the free throw line, just kind of making that defender move with him quite a bit out there, Dickerson. Then he backs outside the three-point arc, top of the circle. Clock to 4:40 left. Bounce pass, high post right to Mora, pivoting. Now at the circle right side, touch pass to Van Landingham going right to left, down the lane, reverse left with his left hand, and the defender gets in underneath him and rams his hip into him, and then throws a fit on the floor as the official calls the block. So Van Landingham will get some free throws out of this one. And that will be on the Rebels, their 17th foul. Call the foul against Dwayne Johnson, his first. So Van Landingham will step up for 2. His first opportunity for points, but misses his first free throw. Van Landingham came into this contest shooting 70%, so one of the team leaders on the team in terms of free throws so far. Heading into game number 6 of the season. Second shot for Van Landingham, clinking around the rim. It comes off, no good. And the big kid pulling it down for Amarillo coming across the timeline off the dribbles. Barsham, he's got 6 boards. Throws to the free throw line. Driving lane is Johnson. Throws up a shot on the run. No good. Ball loose underneath right baseline. Pulled down by Barsham. Reverse layup underneath the hoop. Left to right and scores. 7 rebounds and 4 points for Barsham. 28-10. Eagles up by 18. Still in the front court. Here come the Eagles. Shot for Mora. Top of the circle. Off the front of the iron. No good. 1 and out for the Eagles. Underneath the hoop to rip it down is Sledge. His 2nd rebound. Outlet to Barsham, far sideline. He tries a football throw up the court, but right to Box in the deep left corner of the front court for turn number 11. Box into Gore in the front court. He spins on the left wing, up top to Box. He's going to hold it for a second. To the right wing, crossover through his legs, spins at the right elbow, lost the ball. It's ricocheting in the paint, pinball. Mora picks it up, tries a hook shot from left to right. They're going to say he runs over his defender. He bodied into Dickerson, knocked him to the floor. So Mora will get his first foul, 7 turnover for the Eagles, and their 15th foul. And Coach Reeves is off the bench. He doesn't like to see the lapsadaisical type play on that offense, so he's going to bring in some subs. Morgan checks on, Ramos, and let's see who's our 3rd sub. It looks like Mackey has returned now for Hobbs. Mora will stay on the court. Still an 18-point lead for Hobbs. Even playing sloppy, 18-point lead. Inbound to the near sideline, backcourt to Dickerson. Cross court right to Barsham. Return to Dickerson. Slings it across to Johnson. Shot from the free throw line and nails it. Nobody stepped up on him that time. His first bucket. 28-10. Going to the other end. Or 28-12. Shot from the free throw line for Mora. Comes off the iron and pulled down for the Rebels. Going the other way, Barsham after his 8th rebound. Fumbles it in the lane and Morgan picks it off. He's going to sit it ahead to the left wing, and a 3 on the way for Gordon. NBA 3 off the left side, and it comes off the iron and rolls out of bounds on the left baseline. We'll go back over to Amarillo Tascosa. Kind of a rush shot that time. No rebounders underneath for the Eagles. But Hobbs still holding on to a 16-point lead with 3:11 left here in the first half. Coming across towards the timeline is Dickerson on the left. He decided to put on the brakes and throw it back deep. Picked off by Mackey. Goes to the rack right side, and the defender just lets him go. Barsham. That was turnover number 13 for the Rebels. Mackey now with 8 points after the steal. And now a timeout on the court as Coach Jackson wants to talk to his Tascosa squad. 2:59 remaining here in the second. It's 30-12 Eagles. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear. $15. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Eagles up 30-12. Kind of a sloppy second quarter. Only 13 combined points for both teams. Hobbs 7-6 in this second quarter. Was 23-6 in quarter number 1. Eagles up by 17, and even though it's been sloppy, they have a 1 point better than what they had on the lead in the first quarter with 18 at this point. Top scorer so far for the Eagles. And in fact, there's a tie. It's Michael Mackey, who started off big, 6 points in the first quarter, now has 8. And Jalen Gore, after a tray, ends up with 8 as well. 6 for 2 guys, Jesus Ramos and Aaron Mora. And that's pretty much the top scoring for the Eagles. On the other side of the coin for Tascosa, Barsham leads with 4 points and 8 rebounds, 3 for Isaiah Mendoza. Tascosa basketball coming across the timeline, stop and go, fumbling off his knee as Dickerson recovers on the right wing front court, comes down the lane. He looked like he lost his footing and travel, but they're going to say he was bumped first by the Eagles. So they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the guard that time. So that is going to be called against Katre Morgan, second personal, 16th foul. And that will send, nope, they're not going to call that a shooting foul. Coach Reeves out of the court now is kind of questioning who that was against. So Morgan gets his second. It'll be Amarillo basketball on the left baseline underneath their hoop. It'll be Will Dickerson inbounding, the guy that just got fouled. 7-6 foul count at this point. Inbound to the left corner. Jab step for Barsham. Kicks it up top to Sledge. Bad pass near the timeline. Stolen away by Gore. He tried to dribble down the lane, and he lost it back in the paint. So 8 turnovers for the Eagles and 14 for the Rebels. Into the front court comes Barsham. Sends it down to the right corner to Sledge. Correction, that is Ingram. To the right wing. Cross court left. Over to Dickerson. Little head fake, dribbles up top, one-hand pass over to the right wing to Sledge, dribbles the right elbow, kicks it down right corner to Johnson, drives baseline, got stripped from behind, threw his arms up in the air. Ref's not going to bite on the foul that time. He just gets knocked out. Good quick hands there by Ramos. It will be Rebel basketball on that left baseline again. We got a deja vu play here as Will Dickerson will be the inbound man. Clock stop with 2:20 left here in the second, and Hobbs up by 18, 30-12 over Amarillo Tascosa. Dickerson looking for somebody to get open. Tries to get it. Hard pass into Johnson in the right corner, and he gets it right through his fingertips to the Hobbs bench out of bounds. So already 15 turnovers for the Rebels. Ball comes back into Gore in the backcourt. He's got a man at half court. Will pick him up on D. Keeps backpedaling just a bit, so slowing it up a little is Gore against Johnson. Tries to go to alley-oop back door, and Gore, or make that to Mora, went up to try to get the ball coming down with two hands, and the ball gets knocked out by Dickerson. Looked like he went to go up and dunk that one, but the ball came down low underneath the hoop that time. Clock will stop with 2:09 remaining. Ramos will inbound from the right base underneath the Eagles' hoop. Hobbs got three stacked together on the left side. The inbound to Gore. Fadeaway three from the left wing. It swishes it home. Jalen Gore, he's got two trays there in the second quarter. 11 points to lead the Eagles. And now it is a big 33-12 lead here. 21 points. Long pass to the other end to the right corner. Bobbling it is Johnson. He goes baseline trying to lean to the hoop with two hands. He falls over the top of Ramos, who was already flat on his back in the middle of the paint. I don't know how you could call that on him. He was already flat, and he's going to get somebody in his face now. As coming right up to him, Dayan Wilson wasn't the guy that drove that time, but he had some words for Ramos. They called a foul on that, but players didn't look like they're going to try to inbound it instead of having free throws on this one. Going to call that now. They are going to get the bonus finally. That's going against Ramos, his second, 17th foul. And that will send to the line Devane Johnson. Rebels haven't shot a free throw here in the second quarter. They were 4 for 6 in the first quarter. Free throws off the back of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Morgan. Tries to throw it down the paint in the backcourt. And it looks like, luckily, a Amarillo player touched it, but it went out on the baseline. Otherwise, that would have been a layup for Tascosa. The Eagles dodging a bullet there. They do lead by 21, 33-12. Hard inbound to Moore on the near side. He's going to hold it. Dishes off to Mackey coming across the timeline. Right wing now, front court. Double team against him, coming behind Mora to the right base. 15-footer on the way, and swish it home. Baseline J for the big kid Mora. He's got 8. Nice follow-through for him. Put that hand right through the net, but he was well outside the paint that time. 35-12. Eagles, their biggest lead is 23. Couple passes across the timeline, and getting across his Carr. Sends it to the right wing to Wilson. He'll slow it up, backs it out to that time stripe with 1:15. Eagles up 35-12. Coming back to get the ball is Carr. Wanting to run the 5 play here. Sends it left. Taking it hard is Wilson against Box. Shot from the left elbow. Bouncing around the rim, no good. Ball tipped in the air by Mora and chased down on the left baseline by Sledge, his third board. Sends it down the lane as Carr comes up with it. Reverse left side, no good. Tip back up on the right block by Johnson. That's no good. Sent up again by Barsham. He can't get it to drop. And then running it down as it came off the iron again to the top of the arc was Wilson. So Hobbs getting beat on those defensive boards quite a bit. Offensive boards for Amarillo. Pass up top to Carr with 40 seconds. Sends it left wing to Johnson to the free throw line. Pivoting his Sledge. Bounce it down low to Barsham, right block. He tries to do a reverse layup on the left side. Loose off the rim, and getting knocked to the floor is Morgan. Flat on his back on that left baseline. Can't imagine they're going to call that against him. He looked like he was the victim that time, and he will be the recipient of some free throws. They call the foul push-off on Amarillo. So they'll go to the other end as Morgan will get a chance for free throws. That's going to be the 7th foul on Tascosa. They charge that one to Jalen Sledge, his first. Morgan yet to shoot a free throw. He's got 2 points so far. And Morgan coming into this game shooting just 33% from the charity stripe. So definitely like to see some improvement here. Morgan shoots the first and good. He's got 3. Eagles are 7 of 9 from the charity stripe. Some good numbers there here in this first half. 36-12 now. Eagles up by 24, their biggest lead. And make it 25 as Morgan nails both of them. He's got 4 points. 37-12. Double-digit lead for the Eagles in the backcourt. Near sideline pass to Carr. Tries to back out of the defenders. Box and Mackey trying to box him in there on the near sideline backcourt. And they call the foul. That's going to go against Box, his first. Got a little bit too tenacious with the hip action there. 18th foul, just the first on Box. So it looks like we're going to have free throws going both ends here to finish up this second quarter. As going to the line will be Jure Carr, who's yet to shoot a free throw. Shots up off the front of the rim, no good. Mora tried to get a piece of it, ripped away on the board on the left baseline by Sledge. He gives it off left wing to Carr, slings it to the right wing for a three on the way for Wilson off the front of the rim. Morgan at the free throw line for his fourth rebound, and up ahead to a blitzing Box for the little finger roll over the right rim. That's his first bucket of the game, 39-12. Eagles up by 27. Long ball the other end. Shot on the way. Missing out the back of the rim is Sledge. Rebound by Box. Outlet to the half-court line. And Mackey just tries to sail it long, but the buzzer goes off first. So the Eagles with a big lead at the half, 39-12, their biggest lead of this ball game. We will take a 3-minute break and come back on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7.
Clear. How long?
3 minutes.
Okay. Two minutes. One minute. $30. $13. Three, two, one, go.
We're back here in the panhandle of Texas, Amarillo, Tascosa High School. The Hobbs Eagles coming in with a big lead at the half, 39-12. Eagles were up 23-6 at the end of the first quarter and outscored their opponent 16-6 in the second. It kind of started out kind of sloppy, but Hobbs started to pull out there late in that second quarter. Let's take a look at the numbers. First of all, for Tascosa, they do not have anybody in double digits yet, and far from it. Ashraf Barsham with 4 points. He does have 9 rebounds, so he's definitely getting some cleanup on the boards there, and is 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Isaiah Mendoza, he's got 3 points, went 1 of 2 from the line with 2 rebounds. Bucket for Dwayne Johnson with the rebound, and Jameer Johnson also with the score for 2. And Josiah Hearn went 1 for 2 from the line with 1 point. So first half, you had 5 scorers for Amarillo Tascosa, and again, nobody getting close to double digits. Now, in terms of free throws in the first half, they managed 4 of 7 from the charity line. And the big problem for Tascosa was the turnovers. Hobbs making them cough up 15 in that first half alone. So definitely Eagles starting to wreak some havoc on this Tascosa Rebels offense. 18 rebounds, though. Tascosa had 3 more than the Eagles, but you got to give a lot of credit for them in terms of missing shots in the paint and getting a lot more people crashing. That's why they have the 3 rebound differential. Let's look at the Hobbs Eagle numbers so far. They've got 1 in double digits and 2 getting close. Jalen Gore, thanks to 2 trays in the second quarter, he's got 11 to lead the squad with 1-for-1 free throw shooting. And a pair of 8s, Michael Mackey, he had 6 of those in the first quarter with 4-for-4 free throw shooting and a bucket in the second, again with 8. Aaron Mora with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Jesus Ramos with 6 points, including a tray, and all 6 of his points coming in the second quarter. Katre Morgan, 4 points, 2 for 2 free throw shooting, and 4 rebounds. Him and Mora lead with 4 apiece on the boards. And last but not least, Tyler Box with a bucket off a layup and a couple of rebounds for 2 total there. Darius Royal, also in the game, had 3 rebounds in the first half. Of course, he's starting to see more and more time as he's recovering from that shooting hand injury he had about 2 weeks ago. Didn't get to play against Gadsden, but had some time in the Artesia tournament last week. So right now, the Eagles have a total of 6 scores at this point. In terms of free throws, boy, Michael Mackey leading the pack with 4-for-4 free throw shooting in the first half, so he definitely wants to continue with that. 10 free throw opportunities for Hobbs so far, and they've only missed 2, so they are 8 of 10 for 80%. The Eagles do have 15 rebounds, 3 shy of Tascosa at this point. We mentioned Morgan and Mora both with 4 to lead the squad. And Hobbs really different in terms of the turnovers. They've had 8 compared to 15 for Tascosa, who's almost double those numbers against that Hobbs Eagle trap pressure defense. So those are your numbers here in this first half of action. Eagles with a 27-point lead, their biggest of the game, 39-12 over Amarillo Tascosa. We're going to take another 3-minute break and come back with the second half action. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Hoops exclusive coverage on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
Clear. 3 minutes, correct?
Yes, thank you.
They're 1 minute. 2 minutes. One minute. 30. $13. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We're back live here in Texas, Lone Star State, in the Panhandle, Amarillo, Texas, to be exact, as the Hobbs Eagles come to town and lead by 27, 39-12. The Eagles are the first team back out on the court here, and the clock's ticking down with 23. The home team still trying to lick some wounds in the locker room with Coach Jackson. Of course, we mentioned in the pregame show, Coach was a player for this team, and he's been on the squad as a head coach for about 11 seasons now. But again, he did play as a Rebel here in Amarillo and definitely wants to try to get his team back in this contest. But the Hobbs Eagles playing some tough defense. That's been their blue-collar ethic this year, causing those 15 turnovers in the first half. The scoreboard has run out of time, and the team for Amarillo barely jogging back through the tunnel now as they come back on the floor. And I'm going to be anxious to see how the officials are going to handle this. Coach Reeves is kind of looking back and forth to all the Zebras, wanting to see if they're going to assess a technical here. But looks like the starters ran to the court, so maybe they got lucky on that one. They need one more player, though. They only got 4 out there. Now one finally is going to come on for them. So Eagles going to start this second half up by 27, 39-12. Hobbs will now be going from right to left on the radio dial, depending on how you're looking at things, or on YouTube. $39-12 your score, 27-point lead. Hobbs back at home at Tasker on Tuesday. The inbound goes from left to right, and the right wing is driving hard as Gore. Got down to the corner, and then he got bodied into. So a quick call by the official. Looks like they're going to tighten things up here in the third quarter, as they'll get that one against Will Dickerson. That's already his 3rd personal and the first team foul against Amarillo. Bounce comes in to Mackey, right baseline. Tried to take another dribble and lost it, but it was punched out from behind. They're going to say touched last by Isaiah Mendoza. Nice D from behind in the paint that time. I think Ramos would have gone with the head fake and got up strong underneath the hoop. Didn't get a chance to do it, though. He goes back door to Mora. Hook shot, a sidewinder hook over the front of the rim. And boy, he's starting to get that thing down, or regular hooks too as well. Mora gets on the scoreboard to start the third quarter. He's got 10. Second leading scorer. 41-12, a 3-shot at the other end on the right wing. And the ball knocks out on the baseline. No good for Isaiah Mendoza. They got to call a rebounding foul underneath. I think they're going to call an Eagle for pushing off. And actually they're saying shooter went back up that time. So they're going to go ahead and call the foul there. But then also give some free throws to Will Dickerson. That was against Ramos, his 3rd. First team foul against the Eagles here in the second half. Tyler Box will check in for Ramos. So 41-13 off the made free throw. They're going to get one more for Will Dickerson. That's his first point of the ball game. Second shot is up and good. 2 for 2 on the line is Dickerson. A long ball to the other end and laying it in. Mora uncontested. Nobody getting back deep that time as Mora puts it through. A long ball to the other end. Reverse layup is going to be missed, but tipped back up and in by Dickerson. That's his 4th point of the ball game. Second rebound. So going to trade baskets at both ends. Mora has 12 points so far for the Eagles. And now in the front court, driving the lane is Jalen Gore. Goes to Mora on the left wing, drives free throw line, comes up underneath the reverse layup, left to right, comes off the back of the rim. Looked like it might have been touched by somebody underneath there for Amarillo. Dickerson is going to dribble across the timeline, or actually that was Barsham getting a pass from Dickerson. His ball gets stripped away, and the Eagles have the turnover at the half court. Underneath to Box, misses the shot, gets his own rebound in traffic, and bounce pass back to the free throw line to Mackey. He's going to do a fadeaway 3 or make it a 2 from behind the free throw line and nails it, swishes it right through the hole. He's got 10 points now, so the Eagles with 3 in double figures. 11 at the half for Gore, and Mora and Mackey now also in double digits. In the backcourt, a couple of passes left to right, and now in the hands of Carr. He'll send it across to the left wing to Mendoza. Back deep to the timeline to Carr. Down to the right wing to Sledge. Kicks it back up top to Carr. Fake to pass left. Drives the lane right side. Throws up an errant layup. No good. Put back up in the left block by Dickerson. His fourth rebound. It doesn't go anywhere. And Mora pulls it down. Goes to the other end with a high-arching layup on the right side and scores. Mora now with 14 points and 5 rebounds for the Eagles. So he's taking care of business here. Ball comes into the front court. 3 on the way. Left corner. And a shot is good. Box bodied into him as he let loose of the ball. Did Jameer Johnson, and that's going to be a chance for a 4-point play. So Box picks up his second team foul against the Eagles. Actually, that was Jalen Sledge who shot that one. That was his first bucket of the ball game, and a chance for that 3-point play. Make it a 4-point play. They did count that as a tray. Free throws up, and it is a swish for Sledge. He's got 4 points. So 47-20. Eagles are going to go long to Box. He goes up high with a scoop shot. They're going to call a charge on Box. So he's got 3 fouls now, and that will be the 9th turnover for the Eagles. 47-20 with 5:43 left here in the third quarter. Eagles up by 27, matching their biggest lead of the ball game. On the left baseline, the inbound comes in to the near side backcourt to Mendoza. Gives it right back to the inbound man, Carr on the left side. He's still in the backcourt. Wrap around back to Mendoza. He'll bring it across off the dribble, guarded by Mackey. Top of the circle. Crossover to his right hand. Comes down the lane with the cradle. Throws a shot with one hand, shoves it over the rim and scores. So Mendoza puts it through. He's got 5. It's 47-22. Eagles by 25. In the front court, Mackey. Over to right wing to Gore. Driving hard to the baseline, then backs it out. Crossover move, goes through his legs in front of the Hobbs bench. Down low to Morgan. Reverse layup right side with 2 hands, no good. Ripping it down underneath the hoop is Sledge for his 5th rebound. Gives it behind him to the guard, and dribbling with it is Carr. Double team against him. High pass over the far sideline. Brought down by Mendoza in the front court. Launches a helium ball to the left corner to Dickerson. Back door and going up hard with it right to left underneath the hoop is Johnson. He gets shoved in the back. Ball comes off the rim, off the shot. But a foul on the Eagles. Looks like Mackey pushed from behind. That's his 2nd. And the 3rd team foul on the Eagles. And that'll put on the line Devane Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 1 from the charity stripe going back to the first half. He's got 2 points. It's 47-22. First shot is up and a swish for Johnson. Johnson now with 3 points. Ethan Van Landingham steps back on for Hobbs, and Aaron Mora is going to take a breather. And Mora leaving with 14 points, 6 of those here in the third quarter already, with 4:53 left in the third. Still a 24-point Eagle lead. Second shot is good for Johnson. He got them both, has 4 points. 47-24. In the front court, Gore comes down the lane with the cradle. High scoop shot off the left glass, comes off the rim, but they're going to call the foul, push it in the back. And that's against Dickerson. That's going to be his 4th personal. Giving that first step to Gore. Yep, that's his 4th. He's in serious foul trouble. 2nd team foul against the Rebels. Jalen Gore will get a couple of free throw opportunities. He's 1 for 1 from the stripe and has 11 points, trying to get his first of the third quarter and makes it. They're going to have to get Dickerson off the court for the Rebels on the sub, and checking in for him is Dan Wilson. So 1 more for Gore. Leads the team with 12 points, or actually 2nd now is big scoring for Mora here in the third. That's 13 now as Gore makes both free throws. And it's now 49-24. Clock down to 4:38 left, third quarter. Long pass to the near side. Dribbled for a second, and Carr will send it ahead. Driving left baseline. Shot in the lane by Sledge. Rejected by Morgan. Picked up on the left block for Carr. Sends it back left corner. A fadeaway 3 is in and out for Mendoza. Loose on the left baseline. Goes out. And Hobbs will get it back. Talking about a serious fadeaway on that shot. And shooter went to the floor hard. Didn't look like he got any push by the Eagles that time. Just lost his balance. Inbound to the Eagles. Gore. He'll go one-on-one against the defender. That's Carr at the timeline. Stop and go. Front court now is Gore. Dribbles behind his back. Top of the circle. Continues to go through his legs. He'll spot up an NBA 3. Fade away and count it. Boy, the JV team standing up big for that one. Jalen Gore with the tray. He's got 16, putting on a show here in Amarillo. 52-24. The trap pressure defense for Amarillo. They finally get across with a one-hander across the timeline to Mendoza. Goes back door and high off the glass. Sledge off the layup. He scores. All 7 of his, or make it 6 of his points in this third quarter. 52-26. Here come the Eagles back in the front court. Gorborn behind his back again in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench right side. Top of the circle, spots a three and again swishes it. I think this time they're going to say his foot was on the line. So Gore getting into a major scoring mess here against Amarillo. He's got 18 to lead the Eagles. 54-26, a pass on the left wing in the front court, cross court right. And that was coming from Johnson over to Wilson. Gets touched by the Eagles and comes out on the near sideline. Coach Reed's going to go to his bench and bring in some subs. As seeing some action here in the third quarter, Samaje Williams checks on, as well as Darius Royal. Inbound deep to the backcourt, coming across with the dribbles. Carr over to the right wing, three on the way for Sledge, off the back of the iron, ripped down to the free throw line by Gore. His first rebound ahead to Mora with a double hand dunk over the front of the rim. 30-point lead for the Eagles, their biggest of the game. 16 for Moore on half of his points in this third quarter, 8. 56-26. Long deep pass to the right corner. Dribbling around his Sledge. He gives it off same side right wing to Carr. Up top to Mendoza. Sends it to the left wing to Johnson. Dumps it down low. Reverse layup left. Miss. Put back up by Sledge on the left block. He can't get it to drop again, but he's fouled. Ball came off the iron. Not a lot of touch underneath there for him. He's a big kid underneath the hoop that time. That's 6'4", 183 pounds for Sledge. But he's going to have to get help by a foul on that one. That'll be the 14th foul on the Eagles. They'll call that on Royal, his first. So that'll give 2 shots to Sledge. He's 1 for 1 on the charity stripe and has 6 points, all coming in this third quarter, just by posting up and going back door a few times. First free throw up and good. 2 for 2 on the line to Sledge, 56-27. Eagles' biggest lead has been 30 here in the third quarter. Royal will take a breather, and coming on for him, Gilberto Miranda seeing his first time tonight. Second free throw off through the back of the rim and comes into the net. Counter for Sledge. He's 3 for 3 and has 8 points. 56-28. Eagles doubling up on Amarillo Tascosa in the front court. A spin move for Gore. Comes around the perimeter, right to left, near sideline. Double post screen up top. He takes a triple screen that time. Dribbles to the right wing. Throws back deep to the timeline to Williams. Dribbling through his legs behind his back near the time stripe still. Almost a 5-second count. And he dribbles the ball at the half-court line. Coach Reeves is not a happy camper. The team didn't come back and help him. That will be a turnover. Not sure if he actually bounced it on that half-court line or they called the 5-second violation. But regardless, it's a turnover. Unless they got Coach Reeves with a timeout before that. We'll have to wait and see here. But there is a timeout on the court. We'll take a 30-second break. Your Eagles doubling up Amarillo Tascosa. 56-28 here in the third quarter. Come back in 30.
Clear. $15. Four, 3, 2, 1, go.
56-28. Hobbs up by 28, doubling up on Amarillo Tascosa. 2:31 left, third quarter. Eagles basketball. They did get the timeout. They didn't call the turnover. Pass into Ramos, left wing. His 3 shot off the mark, hits the side of the rim and rolls out on the near sideline, out of bounds. Of course, Coach Reeves jumped up on that last offensive play before that Ramos shot and called that timeout on. That could have been a 5-second count. Almost looked like Williams dribbled on that half-court line. Regardless, they got themselves out of a pinch there. Good decision by Coach Reeves to jump up and get that timeout. Bunch of passing to the backcourt. Finally getting it across is Wilson. Sends it to the left wing. Dish by Carr to the left corner. 3 on the way, off the rim by Sledge. Picked up, though, on the right elbow by Wilson. He'll shoot again. This time an 18-footer, nails it wide open. Wilson now with 2 points, his first of the game, 56-30. Eagles still up big here in Amarillo by 26. Into the front court comes Ramos, is slowed up with the breaks on the near side. Top of the arc, dribbles behind his back. Bounce pass left corner to Miranda. Dumps it down low to Mora, but right off the hands of the defender and pulling it away is Sledge, the 10th turnover. Sledge dribbles into the front court, comes down the right side of the free throw line and gets knocked to the floor, as they'll call the push foul on the Eagles on Gilberto Miranda, his first, and the 16th foul. It will be Amarillo basketball. They're 1 away from getting the bonus situation. On the near side to inbound is Wilson. Sends it back to the deep backcourt to Carr. He'll go one-on-one against Samaje Williams into the front court. Unloads left wing to Johnson. No-look pass back door with one hand, but Mendoza tried to reach for it coming down the right side of the paint, but it was overthrown out to the baseline. That's only the first turnover here in the second half for Amarillo. They had 15 in the first half alone. That's 16 total for them. Eagles up 56-30. They've scored 17 in this quarter and 18 for Amarillo, so 1 point better than the Eagles. Coming across the timeline, stop and go, spinning his Gore, uses up his dribble as he comes across the timeline, throws a high one over to Williams on the right wing, able to come down with it in front of the Hobbs bench. Sliding right to left, dribbling through his legs, still on the right perimeter, having some trouble now, using up his dribble near the timeline. Almost a 5-second count, unloads to the right wing to Miranda. Spots up a three, off the rim, no good. Underneath, right block for the rebound is Jalen Sledge, his 7th board. Gives it off to his guard, Carr, to the right wing in the front court to Mendoza for three, an air ball. Put back up on the left block, a foul called, 2 off the glass, count it, as Sledge will get a chance for a 3-point play. 10 points for Sledge, 8 rebounds, 3 of those boards in the third quarter, and all his points in the third as well. So they'll count the basket on that one, and a chance for that 3-point play. They'll charge the foul to Samaje Williams, his first 17th foul. That means Amarillo will have a quarter plus 58.5 seconds here in the third to have those bonus situations going on. Johnson now on the free throw line. Yes, that is Johnson after he made the bucket. Free throws up and good. 56-33. Eagles up, still 23 points with 55 seconds remaining third. Taking his time with the dribble now. Coming across is Gore. Stop and go. Left side of the lane. Leans and shoots from the left block. Off the back of the rim. No good. Board off the left block for Amarillo. That's Johnson, his second. Dribbles across the timeline with 40 seconds. And we got a technical foul. Looks like Williams got into somebody's face screaming something. He's coming down the court playing some D, and he'll pick up the tech. Second on Williams, not the second technical, second personal. And the 18th foul against the Eagles. Coach Reeves going to jump off the bench, have a question for the official, but it's going to also pull up Catre Morgan to come in for the sub. So going to the line now for Amarillo is Jalen Sledge. He's 3 for 3 from the line. They got a lot of guys that are perfect. Dwayne Johnson 3 for 3 and Dickerson 2 for 2. Free throws bouncing around and no good. Glad I said that. Little voodoo action there as he misses off the back of the rim. His first miss of the ball game. But he does have all 10 of his points here in the third quarter. Again, 6'4", one of the biggest on the team. There's a 6'5" player. That's Barsham. He's not on the court right now. Second free throw good for Sledge. Score now 56-34. Here in the third quarter with 39 seconds left. It'll be a half-court inbound for Amarillo Tascosa. Throwing it in down the lane is Wilson. It's ricocheted, picked off by Catre Morgan for turnover number 17. He'll send it across to the right wing for the Eagles, Ramos. He tries to drive hard, hippity-hop, and his defender put a football block, double forearm into him, and they call the foul. So that'll be against Amarillo. Dwayne Johnson is second. That'll be the third team foul against the Rebels. Eagle basketball for Ramos, left baseline with 33 left here in the third. Eagles by 22. Sends it in the right wing, leave it open for a second, and you don't want to leave him open. The three on the way for Gore, in and out, no good. Moore up underneath the hoop, puts a one hand on the glass and throws it through on the right side. Moore just came off the bench, 10 points in the third, 18 overall, and 6 rebounds. 58-34, long pass to the other end, fumbled on the left baseline, out of bounds. That'll be 18 turnovers for Tascosa. 58-34, Eagles up by 34. Make it 24, Their biggest lead in the third quarter has been 30, though. Into the front court, stop and go for Jalen Gore. Dribbles behind his back on the far side, defended by Carr. Top of the circle, through his legs. He'll go to the right side and throw up a three on the fadeaway and puts it through the hole. The whole Hobbs Eagle bench jumping out of their seat on that one. And that will end it. They throw a half-court shot at the buzzer. Are they going to count that? The back official is going to count that tray as nailing it at the buzzer. Hobbs thought the clock had already expired, but Wilson puts it through to end the third quarter. Boy, 2 big shots there at the end to make it 61-37. We'll take a break, come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear. Is it 60 or 30?
60.
$60 or 30?
60.
Okay, thank you. 30 left. $13. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ready for fourth quarter action here. Eagles up 61-37 over Amarillo Tascosa. Eagles got 22 points in that third quarter and 25, though, for Amarillo. That's their best production so far in this ball game, and 3 points better than the Eagles. Looking at the scoring so far in this game for Amarillo Tascosa, they do have a double-digit score finally. All 11 points, though, for Jalen Sledge in that third quarter. Also had 8 rebounds. Eagles have 21 for Jalen Gore off 4 trays, 18 for Aaron Moore, who got 10 of those in the third quarter, and 10 for Michael Mackey. Starting the fourth, it is Amarillo basketball, dribbling the right wing. Is Carr. Sends it up top to Mendoza over the left corner. Shot on the way from 10 foot. Rejected as Dan Wilson went up for it, and Moore swatted it to the baseline right side. We'll go back to Amarillo. Substitution for the Rebels, Josiah Hearn checks on. And also coming back is Isaiah Mendoza. Get only one double-digit score. That's Sledge with 11. 7 for Dwayne Johnson. Inbound comes to the right corner to Mendoza. Drives baseline to the hoop. Leads and shoots sideways and is fouled. He went through 2 defenders that time, Mora and Morgan. Also in the area was Baeza. Or excuse me, not Baeza. What am I saying there? Ramos. So they do get the foul on the Eagles. That will be their 9th. Let's see who they call that against. Looks like they're going to charge Morgan his 3rd personal. Free throw is up and good on the first for Mendoza. He's got 6 points, 2 for 3 from the line. Score now 61-38. Eagles up by 23. Second shot is good. Got both of them. 61-39. Eagles quickly going to bring it to the front court as usual. Into the front side with the dribble through his legs is Gore. Finds it down to the left corner. Ramos. 3 is off the side of the rim. No good. And pulled down in transition by Carr. His first board for Amarillo. Into the left side perimeter. Kick it up top to Mendoza. Swing it right side to Johnson. Johnson to the top of the circle to Barsham, driving the lane. Double clutch off the back of the rim. No good. Gets his own rebound. Throws it back up off the glass and scores. He's got 6 points and 10 rebounds. So getting close to double-double for him. 41-61. Eagles by 20. Into the front court. Pass up top from Ramos to the left wing. Fadeaway 3 coming from Gore off the back of the rim. Rebound by Mackey. Goes back door, and laying it up off the left side is Mora. He's got 20 points. And 2 rebounds now for Mackey. 63-41. Eagles up by 22. Coming across the timeline. Down the lane off the dribble. Reverse layup on the left side for Carr. No good. Mora gets a hand on it. Swats at it. And it goes out on the baseline. Left side. It'll go back to Amarillo. 63-41. Eagles by 22 with 6:42 remaining here in the fourth. Inbounding on the left side base is Carr. Kicks it into Barsham on the right block. He's going to dribble to the free throw line. Give it up top to Hearn. Swing it left to Carr. Back deep to the timeline to Mendoza. Over the right perimeter to Hearn. Guarded by Ramos. One hands it up top of the circle to Johnson. Sends it back to the left corner to Mendoza. Little head fake. Fires up a 3 and a swish. Went right over the top that time. Over the top of Gore. Somehow got it to drop. He's got 10 points now. His first try of the game for Mendoza. 63-44. Down to a 19-point game. Hobbs in the front court. It's been as big as 30 in the third quarter. Over the right wing to Gore. He's just going to take some dribbles back to the timeline. Crossover behind his back, top of the circle. One hands it to Mackey, left corner. Spots up a 3 off the side of the rim, no good. On the baseline, it looks like Morgan was on the baseline and he put a hand on the basketball. The referee calls him out. Didn't get a grip on it, but didn't matter anyway. He was already stepping on the line. 5:55 remaining, fourth quarter. Eagles up 63-44. Inbound of the backcourt is Carr. He'll send it across and get it back from Mendoza. Front side. Sliding with him is Mackey going from left to right. Unloads to the left wing to Hearn. Quick dribble to the timeline. Sends it back right wing to Carr. To the baseline. Stop and go. Spins on the right block. Kicks it back right wing to Barsham. Up top, fumbling it is Hearn. Able to retract it to the top of the circle. Dribbles through his legs. Guarded by Morgan. Unloads the left wing to Johnson. Kick up top to Barsham. To the right wing, getting by a defender. Carr drives the lane. Handoff to Barsham, to the left side of the block. Throws up a shot, swatted by Mora, and he'll send it ahead to a breaking Mackey reverse layup right side and puts it through. Mackey with 12 points, 65-44 Eagles. Up by 21 here in Amarillo. 5 minutes remaining. Stop and go dribble now in the front court for Mendoza, right wing. Up top to Carr. He'll hold it and send it over to Hearn on the left wing, guarded by Ramos. Touch pass left corner to Barsham. Sends it back up top, picked away for the Eagles. There goes Mackey, and he tries to save it at the other end. Couldn't get a grip on it. The ball loose and rolling on the floor and picked up by Barsham. Into the front court, gives it off left corner to Carr. Up top and a three on the way, getting the pass, and then a quick shot for Mendoza. That's his second tray here in the fourth quarter, 65-47. Eagles still up big, though. In the finale, coming down the lane, and we've got a charge called as Mora went over the top of his defender that time. And he'll pick up his second personal, or correction, that's, Ramos, his fourth personal, and the 10th team foul. And as Ramos cut the foul, he heard the cheering from the Amarillo crowd. He pointed up to the scoreboard at that point. That will be the 12th turnover for the Eagles. Again, a total of 20 for Amarillo Tascosa. So defense doing the job for the Eagles. 65-47, up by 18. 4:20 left in the game. As the ball comes across to Mendoza on the right wing, sends it down right base. Hearn, reverse layup left, an air ball high in the air. Chased down in the left corner by Johnson, his third. Rebound. Back over to Hearn on the left wing. One-hand touch pass to the timeline to Carr. He'll dribble left to right as he hands off to Mendoza going from right to left. Top of the circle. Coming to get it is Hearn. Going alley-oop back door. Double clutch off the back of the rim for Barsham. Pulled down in the right block. Reverse layup on the right side. They call the foul as Johnson went up with it. That's his fourth rebound. He'll get a chance for 2 free throws as the ball came off left side of the rim. So second and third efforts for Amarillo Tascosa, keeping it alive in the paint. Morgan will pick up the foul. That'll be his fourth and the 11th team foul against the Eagles. (65-47) as the free throw is up and good right through the net for Devane Johnson. He's got 8 points. He's 4 for 5 from the charity stripe for 80%. 65-48 here in the fourth quarter in Amarillo. Hobbs up by 17. So starting to pull this lead down just a bit. Second shot is good for Johnson. He got both of them, now has 9 points. 65-49. Here come the Eagles. Quickly in the front court off the dribble, Jalen Gore. Bounce pass left wing to Mora. He's going to pivot. Coming up right elbow. Shot on the way for Ramos and puts it through on the J. Ramos now with 8 points. His first bucket here in the second half. 67-49 Eagles. Into the front court, left elbow is Carr. Carr's going to spot up a shot from 3 on the left wing. It's no good off the dribble. Rebound underneath is Mora for his 7th board. Throws a hard one down the lane, but overthrows Michael Mackey for the 13th turnover. Clock to 3:27 remaining, and Coach Rees does not want to go out on an ugly note here. He wants to see the team execute, and he's going to call the timeout to talk about the O. 3:27 remaining here in the fourth. It's Hobbs 67, Amarillo Tascosa 49. We're coming back in 60 seconds here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Somebody there?
Clear, and the tie line's glitching a bit.
Bring me back. We're ready for action here.
Okay.
3:27 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Hobbs up 67-49. Lead as big as 30 in the third, but it's down to 18 now. Not the most productive quarter of the game. The Eagles have only put down 6 points in this fourth quarter, but there's 3:24 remaining. In the backcourt, the dribbles Carr. Sends it across. Catching on the left wing is Mendoza. Spots up a wide open three. In and out, no good. Tip back up with 2 hands on the left block, and that is Johnson. He's got 11 points and 5 rebounds now, and it's 67-51. Closest it's been here in the second half, 16. Moore in the front court, pushes it off behind the three-point arc to Gore. Now on the right side, stop and go, spin move, through his legs, crossover, top of the circle. Over to the left corner, Ramos fakes a 3 with a jab step. Takes a few dribbles, keeps the ball going alive on the floor here on the near side. Wants to see some rotation on the offense with 2:45 remaining. He's just going to slow it up as he backs it up to the timeline. Screen for Mora, top of the circle, give and go. And the bad pass that throws it ahead of Mora, and it goes out of bounds off the bounce. Eagles now with 14 turnovers. They've had 5 turnovers here in the second half. Trey Morgan on the court, along with Jalen Gore, Aaron Mora, Ramos, and Mackey. Pass comes across with a one-hander, pulled down on the right wing for Dickerson. Guarded by Morgan. Eagles now with the extended 2-3 zone. Back to the timeline to Carr. Carr top of the arc against Mackey. Sends it back to the right wing to Dickerson. 2:20 left here in the fourth. Eagles up by 16. Handoff coming down the right side of the lane to Johnson. He goes the rack with it. They call the foul as Moore and Morgan kind of converge on him that time underneath the hoop. A little bit too late, a body foul. I think Morgan had just fouled out. He's already going over and shaking some coaches' hands and not even going to wait for the buzzer to sound on his 5th foul. So Morgan will finish with 5 fouls there, 4 points in the ball game, and 4 rebounds. 2 for 2 on the charity stripe. Coach Reeves does not look like a big happy camper at this point. The fourth quarter not looking too good for the Eagles offensively. First free throws in and out, though, for Devane Johnson. But, boy, having something to be upset about, though, a 16-point lead and still not playing the most pretty basketball in the fourth quarter. Hobbs are going to get their record of 6-1, so Coach is not going to be too unhappy about that, I'm sure. Second free throw good for Johnson. He's got 12 points, 67-52 your score, 15-point game. Pass to half court to Mackey, spins on triple team pressure there. They're going to say he spun too much. They call the travel. Hobbs now with 15 turnovers. Coach Reeves now looking at the floor, shaking his head, and thinks this kind of fizzled out for the Eagles here in the fourth. Looks like there might have been a little water in the paint as the official trying to get that thing wiped off with his foot. The Eagles in this fourth quarter have only scored 6 points and 15 for Amarillo Tascosa. One of the players went off to the side, got a towel. That's going to be Devane Johnson for Amarillo. Eagles point scoring so far. Jalen Gore with 21, nothing in the fourth yet for him. 20 for Aaron Mora. He's got a bucket here in the fourth quarter, and 12 for Mackey, 2 points in the fourth. Those are your top scorers so far, double digits, all 3 of them. And it looks like we have a whistle at half court. The referee in the back court didn't even know that was a whistle. It was kind of low sounding one there, and they continue to let the dribbler come across, but then they call the timeout. We're going to keep it right here with 2:09 left in the fourth, and Hobbs up by 15, 67-52. Of course, the Eagles will play Tuesday night at Tascosa Arena as they'll take on Gadsden, team they beat 96-49 on the road just a few weeks back. So a big game, 3-4 players getting in double digits in that one. Aaron Mora finishing with 26 points. Michael Mackey dumped in 19 and 16 apiece for Jalen Gore and Trey Morgan. So, again, those guys I'm sure will be more than excited to play that Gadsden team in front of their Tascosa Arena fans, all of you that will be there on Tuesday. Of course, Hobbs Holiday Tournament coming up in just a few weeks. And that will be starting after Christmas, of course. Christmas on a Saturday this year. And they'll get a chance for the players coming in from different states, Texas, Oklahoma, etc., to get some travel time. And the tournament will be Monday through Wednesday. So the 25th is on a Saturday. The 27th, the tournament starts. 28th, 29th, Monday through Wednesday. So get your tickets for that. It's always a spectacular tournament. There'll be the girls as well as the boys at Tascosa Arena. Also some other courts, too. Freshmen will be used, at least for the first round or so. Back to live action here in Amarillo. Eagles up 67-52 in the fourth, up by 15. Ball comes into the Jere Carr in the backcourt. One hands it across the timeline, catching it at the free throw line, and a pass down the right base, and a shot good on the right baseline. Wide open was Sledge. 13 points for him, leading score 67-54. Getting closer here, 13 now. Eagles in the front court, top of the arc. Jalen Gore slides to the right side with a dribble and spins back to the top of the arc. Clock to 1:45 remaining. Stop and go to the right elbow. He's got stripped to the top of the arc as it's taken away by Sledge. 16 turnovers. Pass to the right wing. 3 on the way. Off the back of the rim for Carr. Rebound put back up over the front of the rim. It falls in the cylinder. Counted, and a chance for a three-point play as they call the foul. That's going to be the 9th rebound for Sledge. He's got 15 points. And that will be for the Eagles their 12th team foul. So call that against Ramos. That's the second foul out for the Eagles. Ramos will exit with 8 points on the night. So Tyler Boxer return for Hobbs. He's got 2 points. Free throw is up and good for Sledge, a 3-point play. He's got 16, 67-57. Here come the Eagles quickly. Long pass down to Moore on the left block. He tries to go up with it, fumbles it, out of bounds on the baseline. Turnover number 17. 1:27 left in the game. Eagles just trying to hold on to the victory, up by 30 in the third quarter. Now it's down to 10, 67-57. Ball comes to the timeline and brought across by Mendoza. Sends it up top to Carr. Swing it to the left side to Johnson. Back to Carr into the timeline with a jab step against Mackey. Clock to 1:10. Over the right wing, open Sledge for 3 off the side of the rim. Right side, no good. Pulled down by Dickerson underneath. His shot underneath the hoop right side is no good off the rebound. His 5th board. Pulled down for the Eagles by Jalen Gore, his 2nd board. Double team in the backcourt. Throws it across to Mackey. Top of the arc. Comes down the lane. Dish off to Box in the right corner. Sends it back deep to the timeline, and saving it before it goes in the backcourt is Gore. Double team against him. Finds Mackey at the time stripe as well. And they're going to call the push-off against the Eagles. The hook foul called on Mackey, an offensive foul. That's his 3rd. 13th team foul against the Eagles, and their 18th turnover. 67-57. Screeching back into this one. Amarillo Tascosa, their ball on the near sideline of the backcourt. Carr throws it across the timeline. Pulled down by Dickerson. Fumbled it, but stripped away by Tyler Box. That'll be turnover number 21, but he throws a bad pass. It's taken away by Carr. Sends it down the lane, and a foul. Going to the hole with it hard and getting pushed is Sledge. He goes flat on the floor, and he'll get a chance for a 2 free throw situation here. As they call that on the Eagles, Aaron Mora, his 2nd, 14th team foul, and that'll put on the line Sledge. Sledge has been on the line so far 6 times, has converted 5 of them, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. Free throw up and good. He's got 17, 6 here in the 4th quarter, and 11 of his points coming in the 3rd. 67-58. 9-point game. A 2nd free throw's up and good as well for Sledge. 67-59. Big comeback in this 4th quarter. We got a whistle before the inbound as Box had on the right baseline. The Eagles call the timeout. 67-59. Eagles up by just 8. We'll be back in 30 seconds live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
Clear.
30 seconds.
$15.
Back here live in the 4th quarter. Big comeback for Amarillo Tascosa, just trailing by 8, 67-59. They have scored 22 points, have the Rebels in the 4th quarter. The Eagles with only 6. So some major problems for Hobbs. Jesus Ramos hit a bucket, Mackey hit a bucket, and so did Mora. 2 of those guys, or actually one of those guys fouled out, Jesus Ramos, and Katre Morgan was the other one. He finished with 4 points, Ramos with 8. But it's an 8-point ball game, 39 seconds remaining. Eagle basketball on the right baseline of the backcourt. Mackey throws a high one over the head of Mora, and it's taken away for Amarillo Tascosa, turnover number 20. Pass to the free throw line, shot on the way off the back of the rim by Carr. Put back up on the right block and putting it down for the score is Johnson at a quick timeout. 6 rebounds now for Johnson and 14 points overall. Now it's 67-61. Eagles just up by 6, and things have started to unravel here in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately for Hobbs, only 6 points we mentioned being scored in this fourth quarter. After such a stellar first half, Hobbs was up 39-12 at the half. Up by 27 points, extended it to 30 in the third quarter, and then about halfway through the third, things started to unravel, although Aaron Mora ended up with 10 points in the third quarter. The fourth is going to be completely a drop out of the game type of situation for the Eagles. And Coach Reeves right now, I'm sure, is trying to tell the team, we got to get the heck out of this with a W, take care of the basketball. Hobbs throwing a lot of turnovers away in this fourth quarter. In fact, they have a total of 11 turnovers in the second half. They had 8 in the first half. So 67-61 your score here in the fourth. 6-point Eagle lead. Both teams breaking the huddle. Hobbs 5-1 on the season, working on their 6th win, and Amarillo Tascosa at 3-7. So a few more games under their belt for the Rebels. Hobbs after facing a full court pressure defense. On the baseline right side is Gore, gets it in, or trying to get it in finally. Looked like he was going to get into box, but then had to call the timeout before he throws it in and get close to that 5-second violation. Clock at 28.6 here in the fourth, 67-61. Point production so far in this game for the Eagles, 21 for Gore, 24 Mora, and 12 for Mackey, are 3 double-digit scorers. On the other side of the coin, 18 for Sledge and 14 for Devane Johnson. 7 of those points for Johnson in the fourth quarter and 7 for Sledge in the fourth. Turnover situation, the Eagles now actually starting to almost tie up with the Hobbs Eagles on those numbers. They have 20 turnovers, majority of those in the second half, and 21 for Tascosa. They've only had 6 turnovers in the second half. The Eagles have had 11 in the second half. So you can see the big differential there. Most of that problem for the Eagles, though, of course, in the fourth quarter. So Hobbs back to that baseline inbound of their backcourt. This time Tyler Box. They keep changing people, trying to get somebody that can get this in better than what's been happening. Box having trouble, finally gets into Van Landingham on the far right sideline of the backcourt. He gets grabbed quickly from behind. That's only the 4th foul, though, against Amarillo Tascosa. See if they're going to call this against. Box will inbound it just above the half-court line in the front court. Still waiting to see. They're going to call that against Johnson. That's his 3rd. 14 fouls we mentioned. Box has it near the scores table, right sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Finally gets into Van Landingham on the right wing, and they get a foul on him quickly, as pushing him was Mendoza, his 2nd 15 foul. Hobbs been very tentative getting the ball inbound in the fourth quarter. Looks like their hands are freezing as they're trying to extend the ball onto the court. Nobody's getting open, and Amarillo Tascosa really bonding to the offensive players of the Eagles. Box will get into the right wing to Jalen Gore. He dribbles out of pressure to the timeline near side and gets shoved by Jere Carr to stop the clock. That's the first on Carr, the 16th foul, still not in the bonus. Hobbs will stop the inbound on the near sideline. So only one more foul, and it will be a bonus on the next foul here. Box has it on the near side to inbound with 23.5 seconds left. Gets it into Gore on the left wing, drives the baseline left side, and he gets pushed. Mora was saying, throw me the ball. He was wide open underneath the hoop, and I think Gore just wanted to get free throws, and Coach Reeves wasn't too happy about that. Thought he should have passed that one up. That'll put Gore on the line. That will be the 7th foul against Amarillo. And they will call the foul against Jalen Sledge, his 2nd. So bonus situation here for Gore. He's perfect, 3 for 3 from the line, has 22 or 21 points. First free throw ricocheting around the rim and good. 22 now for Gore. Again, 4 for 4 on the line. He had 2 trays in the third quarter, 2 in the second quarter, so 4 total overall from the 3 line. Free throw good for number 2 as well, 69-61 as Gore gets both of them. 23 points to lead the Eagles. 17 seconds, long pass down to the left corner, 3 on the way. Off the back of the rim for Sledge. Pull down for Gore on the right baseline. He gets knocked around and kind of threw an elbow at the last second because he was getting 2 bodies sandwiching in between him on that right baseline. as Gore picked up his 3rd rebound, and he'll go to the other end for the bonus. See who they call the foul on this time, but they're going to get Sledge again. That's his 3rd, 18th foul. So, of course, Jalen Gore hit the last 2 free throws. He's perfect, 5 for 5 from the stripe. Leads the team with 23 points. Came into the contest averaging 17.2 a game. Free throw up and good for Gore. Made all 3 free throws here in the 4th quarter. 24 for him total, 70-61. Eagles thought this was in the books, up by 30 in the 3rd quarter, but good comeback here for Amarillo, and not the greatest play for the Eagles. 2nd free throw, no good for Gore. Pulled down underneath the hoop by Sledge. That's his 10th rebound. He's got a double-double. Long ball is intercepted by Moore on the near sideline. He's going to weave through traffic. Goes to the rim with it with his left hand and scores before the buzzer. So the Hobbs Eagles winning this one 72-61 over Amarillo Tascosa to go to 6-1 on the season. So an 11-point win for the Eagles. And we're going to take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
Clear. Two minutes.
Please add 30 to that.
No problem. One minute. $30. $15. Five, four, three, two, one.
We're back live here in the Panhandle of Texas. Amarillo 72-61. The Eagles getting the win over Amarillo Tascosa, a 9-point victory. Eagles only getting 11 points in the fourth quarter and 24 for Amarillo Tascosa to get back in the game after they were trailing Hobbs by 30 in the third quarter. Let's take a look at the numbers, first of all, for the home team. Although they didn't have many double-digit scores at all in the first half, just one, but they ended up with 3 at the end of the ball game. Jalen Sledge had 18 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double. Devane Johnson finished with 14 points. He was 6 of 8 from the charity stripe. And also Isaiah Mendoza had 12 points in the ball game. So definitely those 3 come up big, especially in the second half and the fourth quarter. Other scores, Ashraf Barsham had 6 points and 10 rebounds. He was 2 for 2 from the line. 5 points for Dan Wilson. He had a tray in the game. Will Dickerson had 4 points. He went 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. And Josiah Hearn went 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point. A total of 8 scores for Tascosa High School in this game. They were 16 of 20 from the line and had 36 rebounds in the contest. In fact, Ashraf Barsham and Jalen Sledge both finishing with 10 rebounds apiece for double digits in the game. We mentioned Sledge was a double-double with 18 points and 10 rebounds. Turnovers, a total of 22 in the ball game, but a lot better job for Tascosa in the second half. They had 15 in the first half of turnovers and 7 in the second half. That's how they got back in the contest. On the Hobbs Eagles side of the coin, 24 points a leader for Jalen Gore. He had a great job in terms of those 3-point shots. He had 4 trays in the ball game and almost perfect from the charity stripe as well, as he went 6 of 7 from the line in this one. Also 3 rebounds for Jalen. Aaron Mora finished with 20 points and 7 rebounds in the game. He had 10 points in the third quarter alone. Michael Mackey with 12 points. He was 4 for 4 free throw shooting in the first quarter and had 6 points in the opening quarter to get the Eagles on a roll to start the ball game. So 3 in double digits for the Eagles. Mackey also had 2 rebounds in the game. Jesus Ramos fouled out, but did have 8 points, including a tray, and was 1 for 1 on the line. Katray Morgan finished with 4 points after he fouled out, or before he fouled out, and was 2 for 2 from the line. Other scores for the Eagles, Tyler Box hit a bucket for 2 points. And that's about it for Hobbs in this ball game. They finished up with a total of 6 scores in the contest. Hobbs was one of their better free throw shooting games of the season. They were 13 of 16 for 81%. Hobbs had 20 turnovers compared to 22 for Amarillo Tascosa. And the Eagles out-rebounded in this one, 36 to 23. Top rebounds for Aaron Mora with 7. And 4 for Katray Morgan. He came in second. So Hobbs really getting out-rebounded bad in that fourth quarter, and a lot more turnovers as well. So Hobbs winning this one 72-61. They're 6-1 on the season now. That drops Amarillo Tascosa to 3-8. Next up for the Eagles, that'll be Tuesday night at Tasco Arena, a home matchup, as Hobbs will take on Anthony Gadsden. They beat them bad 96-49 just a couple of weeks ago. Hobbs had 4 in double digits. Aaron Mora finishing with 26 points in that ball game, so he definitely was having some fun on the court for the Eagles. Also scoring in double digits, Michael Mackey with 19 points, 16 apiece for Jalen Gore and Tyler Box. So pretty much a rout in that ball game for the Hobbs Eagles. Rebounding as well, Hobbs pretty much dominating the boards. They had 13 rebounds for Aaron Mora, so he had a double-double in that game, and 12 rebounds for Katray Morgan, who finished with 12. So Hobbs really definitely taking control. That was also double-double for Katray Morgan along with his scoring 16 points. So Hobbs should have a pretty good time. They usually, if they even get close to Gadsden on the road, when they come back to Tasco Arena, they definitely take care of business. Normally, it's a double-digit win over the Gadsden Panthers, but you got to play the game first to see what you're given in terms of their opponent. So that'll be Tuesday night. We'll have the pregame show at 6:45, the tip-off at 7 o'clock. One of the final games before the Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament, of course, there at Tasker as well. Again, the final score tonight here in Amarillo, 72-61. The Eagles with an 11-point win to go to 6-1 on the season. I'd like to thank Nathan back at the station. Also, we'll have Coach Coltrane will be back with us next week on that game on Tuesday. Hope you have a great rest of a weekend out there, and so long from Amarillo, Texas.